Welcome
Good Sunday
back to
morning. You're
Access
listening
Houston
to
on
Access Houston. I'm your
97.9
host,
The
KG
Box.
Smooth, welcoming a first-timer to the program. She is a case manager for MCH Family Outreach. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Nicole Washington. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am great.
Good. I was referred to you by one of my favorite people in Houston, and she's been on my program countless numbers of times, Sonia Boyd.
Yes.
And she told me about MCH Family Outreach and what it is that you are doing. She was like, I think they would be great on Access Houston. I said, I think they would too. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, and shout out to Sonia.
Yeah, I know,
She's
right?
really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us about MCH Family Outreach. What is it that you all do and offer for those who may not be familiar?
So MCH Family Outreach has been around since 1890, and we started out as an orphanage and in Texas and New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And now we offer services throughout Texas and New Mexico area in our foster care programs and in our preservations programs. We our main office is in Waco. We have a residential facility there, a boys ranch, and we service children and families there as well.
Mm. We
also have outreach offices here in Houston. The one of the outreach offices is located. Our outreach office here in Houston is located off of 290 in between 34th and Mangum. And at that office, we do service foster care families, whether they are families that need voluntary foster care or if they are in need of foster care through the CPS system.
Mm-hmm.
What we've seen is that we're not in the business of just foster care, but what we've seen is we want to provide families the ability to keep all of their children in their family, in their homes.
Okay.
So our focus in preservation, which is one of my hard bleeds, is for grandparents, and I am the case manager for the GAP program.
Mm-hmm.
That program assists grandparents with obtaining resources and gathering support within their communities in the local area. And we assist those families. We help those families for about 3 to 6 months. We create a plan that they're willing to work in that program. All of our services, let me say this, all of our services are absolutely free. They're of no charge to the client.
Oh.
And the other program is for birth parents, and that birth parent program is also a case management program that is to assist birth parents with getting some of their needs met, not just but the birth parents, but the entire family, whether it's I need stable housing or I need to look for work and things of that nature. And so one of the things that have kept me with the agency for 12 years is that we do exactly what we say we're going to do, and that is help families stay together as much as possible and in all circumstances when those circumstances are available.
Nice. I love that. You listen to Access Houston, talking to Nicole Washington, who is a case manager for MCH Family Outreach. Keeping the family together, so very important. It always breaks my heart, even growing up as a kid and knowing friends who were put into foster care and they have siblings, but they get split up. And I'm like, that is not, that cannot psychologically be healthy for either party involved.
It's really a traumatic thing.
Yeah.
To have, first of all, a child lose a parent, and then to have a child lose a sibling, and to not know if and how this happened, or if this is a long-term thing and how did this happen. And they grow up thinking that it's them, and they have never been able to attach to someone. And it really trickles down into the rest of their lives and then their children's lives. Mm-hmm. And so there's a pattern.
Yeah.
So another service that we have is our parent education. We currently do parenting classes throughout Houston. We were providing parenting classes at a local substance abuse facility for many years, so that those families, when they are done with their treatment plans at that substance abuse facility, they're able to take those parenting tools and actually take them home and reunite with their families and be able to provide their children with a nurturing environment.
Nice.
And so that service is also free as well. We've done it in schools. We've done it at substance abuse facilities. We're willing to do it at apartment complexes. We just want to make sure we do everything that we can to ensure that families are strong, that they're empowered, that they're whole, and that they have some nurturing and healthy abilities to provide to their entire generation. Really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Because when you know better, you do better.
That's right. Yeah. I I would be privy if I didn't ask your thoughts and feelings when the current administration was tearing families apart at the border who were coming here to seek asylum from Guatemala, from Venezuela, from all down in, Central America. People are coming here because the situation is so bad,
right,
that they are risking to travel hundreds and hundreds of miles to get away from the violence that is happening in their country, in their city or town. And to come here, we're supposed to be this beacon of hope, to seek asylum, to be safe. Then families are separated at the border. To me, that was just, it was just evil and cruel. And my heart still goes out to these children. Some who are probably still there, that are just wrapped in a piece of foil that's supposed to dub as a blanket. Yeah. How did that affect you? I mean, I'm sure it affected us all, but you working directly in this, your thoughts and feelings?
Any family that has endured, like I've said before, the traumatic event of not having each other.
Yeah.
In any state, in any circumstance, it is a tear to our entire humanity, because you now have generations that are affected long term. Mm-hmm. And that's the way I had to look at it. It's a heartbreaking thing to have a child not be able to have strong attachment to someone,
right,
or to a family, to know, where did I come from? How did I get here? What's the nurturing routine that's going to follow me now? Is there going to be one? It is our duty, I think, to make sure that we do all we can to keep families and churches and communities, agencies, all connected, so that we're ensuring that these families come, if they can, come out whole.
Yeah.
So it's been, I know that our agency, we're just standing strong in empowering and strengthening and doing what we can to help some of that, and not just put Band-Aids, but actually do what we can in the communities with any and everyone. We have a Spanish-speaking case manager that has done some work with undocumented families, and she is amazing. If she has to go to court, she's done that. If she has to go to the school, get them health care, whatever she can to make sure she can help the families that are able to get here to have what they need, and some of the required stuff that they're in need of getting, whether that's health care, housing, jobs. She's gone and taken them to appointments to fill out applications and things of that nature, just to get them where they need to be.
Yeah.
So we're doing everything we can to make sure, and we're not a huge office.
Yeah.
It's only 7 of us in the office.
But so you all are doing God's work, though.
Absolutely. And that is what makes it all worth it at the end of the day.
Indeed. You're listening to Access Houston, talking to Nicole Washington, case manager for MCH Family Outreach. You all are having the Relatives as Parents Conference that is coming up. It's going to be on February the 9th. That's a Saturday, right?
Correct. That is a Saturday.
Tell us about the conference, Relatives as Parents Conference.
So, MCH Family Outreach is a part of the Relatives as Parents Coalition. There are other agencies that are also involved with the coalition. There are several out there. We've collaborated together in an effort to bring together like-minded agencies for the purpose of supporting kinship families.
Okay.
That's any family that's raising someone else's children, like the grandmothers.
Mm-hmm.
I now have great-grandmothers on my caseload that are
I'm
doing
sure.
it,
Yeah.
and which is pretty amazing to me because they are really with it nowadays. And so I also have siblings that are raising siblings and
Okay.
aunts and uncles and friends that are raising somebody else's child that's not theirs.
Mm-hmm.
But what we found with that population is there aren't as many resources as we would like to have for them. And sometimes they get a little lost in the shuffle of things. So we meet the coalition meets every month, so that we can share information that we gather together and maybe obtain through other meetings or community events or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We assist each other in serving our many different communities during these meetings. Once a year, we have a RAP, and it's called Relatives as Parents Conference. And that conference is taking place on February the 9th from 8 until 4. At the conference, we will provide workshops. We're going to have quite a few speakers. We're going to have Dr. B. Glenn Wilkerson. He's going to speak about children who are loved.
Mm-hmm.
They do better. We have the CPS whole panel that's coming. So from investigations all the way to post-adoptions. And they're going to talk about what happens in the system and how things come about during or come into play with their system. And so the panel is going to be there for the participants to ask questions, and they get to talk about their circumstances and their situation. Now, they only have like an hour or so to do that, but a lot of good stuff comes out of that, and maybe a good understanding of why and how something happened.
Yeah.
Growing Together by Mr. and Mrs. Matthew Bridges. They're going to come in and assist with how families can grow together in parenting the second time around. Because, one generation did it one way.
Right.
And now, like my mother says, this is a new generation.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be a really good topic as well. Education in the importance of paternity and court orders when kin families are raising someone else's child. Talking about the child support orders and the paternity orders. That's important if the child has been passed on to a relative.
Yeah.
Then there'll be Gang Awareness 101. A lot of our grandparents and family members are getting the children, and they're having influences outside of the home.
That's right, yeah.
That are impacting what's going on
inside
the home.
Yes.
And they need to know what that looks like.
And to my surprise, that's a problem here in Houston.
Yes.
With the young kids being in gangs.
Yes, and then they're exposed very early. It may just be with colors or signs or symbols, but the mayors, they're sending out someone so that they can speak to our family members about that. And the last topic is going to be on mental health in the family. That's coming from Colleen Paxton with West Oaks Hospital.
Nice.
And let me say this again, I can't say it enough, free. The
free
conference
99.
is free 99.
Absolutely free.
And we are feeding you all breakfast and lunch. The only thing is we do not have childcare. So this is an adult-only event. We don't have anyone to take in the children. But if you can get away for that one day, I have one grandmother that calls us every year, and she says, this is my day. And it's the only day she gets to get away from the kids.
Amazing.
And she comes. We're going to have vendors, and we're going to do door prizes, and they love that at the end.
I'm sure they do.
So yeah, we get to raffle off. So I will say this: if anybody wanted to just love on them and drop off door prizes for them, that'd be amazing too. So
Yes, indeed.
Tell them to ask for Nicole Washington. I'll be there.
And that is that's Saturday, February 9th from 8 until 4, happening at how do you pronounce that?
The Pelchin Children's Center.
Thank you.
For 4950 Memorial Drive, Houston, Texas 77007. You can register at 713-682-8911 or send an email to houstonboardroom@mch.org.
Okay, so again, you can register by calling 713-628.
682.
I'm sorry, 682. What am I, dyslexic? 682-8911. It's 713-682-8911 or email houstonboardroom@mch.org. And again, it's free.
Free.
Absolutely free. They're going to feed you. There'll be door prizes, of course, the workshops, a vendor's fair, and this is going to be great. So save the date, Saturday, February 9th, 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Pelchin Center. That's 4950 Memorial Drive here in Houston. Wow, Nicole, thank you for coming on and telling us about MCH Family Outreach and the Relatives as Parents Conference happening on Saturday the 9th. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. And please register you all so we'll know how much food so we can feed you.
I know that's right. Indeed. So do your due diligence. All my grandparents and other relatives who are raising kids who are not yours. This Relatives as Parents Conference sounds like quite the thing. So thank you, Nicole.
Thank you and many blessings. And thank you all for having me. We appreciate it.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. I got my guy in the building. Yeah, and you just heard him a couple of weeks ago contributing his intellectual thoughts on the Access Houston Roundtable. He is a poet. He's the founder of the Pulse Fest, also Metaphor Houston. Just an all-around dope individual as an artist and humanitarian. Ladies and gentlemen, Outspoken Bean.
I'm back,
on
y'all.
The program.
I'm back, y'all. What's
back
up?
again.
Yeah,
How's it going, man?
I'm all right, man. How are you doing, brother?
I'm pretty good. How was the MLK weekend? Because that was when we did Access Houston. It aired that Monday. What?
I wish I could be in two places at once, man. I was in San Antonio. I wish I could have been in Houston as well. But I was in San Antonio performing out there at their march. But MLK it was good, man. You know, the first major holiday, you know what I mean, besides New Year's, I guess. Like, it's the first major holiday of the year.
Where people are off again.
People
right?
are off again. It doesn't count.
Holiday.
It's not culminated until like Christmas and all of that, right? Yeah. So
yeah.
it was good. It was good, man. It was good. Extremely important holiday. I feel the one in Orange wants to get rid of it, but whatever, man. I just
I
didn't mean to bring him up. I didn't mean to bring him up.
Forget it. So the one in Austin. I mean, you were in San Antonio.
San Antonio, yeah.
My apologies.
Which is where I'm from.
One MLK parade in San Antonio?
No. See, man, Houston, when you have as many, people of color that are black in a city, you have issues such as multiple parades. In San Antonio, it's just one. There's only 7% of us there. It's just one, but it's actually the largest march in the country. It's huge. Yeah. It's like 200,000 people.
Well, the
marching.
one here is the first.
It is the
original. They had did 41 years.
First.
Like he had planned this parade before everybody else.
Yeah,
was
thought
doing
about it.
Yeah.
San Antonio came up after. It was 40 years.
And so
yeah. So it's like
And then we had that petty divide here because this year is a mayor's race, and the city backed the
original,
the original MLK with the Black Heritage Festival, and then the grand parade they had the other two guys that's running, King and Busby.
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
I was just like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, man, it's literally a holiday that's meant to come together.
Not in Houston.
Not in the H, man. Geography wins.
But listen, hey, I've got my own opinions because I have interviewed both organizations twice, and I know which one is real and I know which one is for the money.
For sure. Oh, ooh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah, I don't know that.
That's through my experience.
I hear you.
Through my questioning and through my, just me asking the right questions.
Yeah.
And I figured out like, oh, okay.
I see
you
what it
for the
is.
money, You are actually for the cause. I get it. But
man.
Anyway, you're listening to Access Houston, talking to Outspoken Bean. We ain't even got here. We just went on off
We've been going through rabbit holes,
something
y'all.
else.
We've been going through rabbit holes.
But listen, you are a part of the WCA, which is the Winston Contemporary Art Gallery. They are having an event that is coming up on the 9th.
Oh, yeah.
Called Pass It On.
Pass it
Pass it on. Pass it on.
Yeah,
that's what coming. What
brother, you got to come
Pass
one time, man.
Who was that? Pass it on.
I don't remember this.
Oh, Patti LaBelle, When You've Been Blessed, It Feels Like Heaven.
Oh, my gosh.
When
yes,
you've been blessed, It feels like heaven. Pass it on.
You're right, man. All right, now I'm going to bring that up. Now I'm going to bring that up when I'm hosting. Pass it on. Yeah, man, I'm going to do it. So this is our grand opening of Pass It On. For Houston. We've had two, and they've been great, but this is like, restaurants do this, you know what I mean? They'll be open for a little bit, it's like soft openings, and then have like a major one. So this is this major one, and we're bringing in internationally known poet, National Poetry Slam champion from New Orleans. His name is Akeem Alaj, phenomenal poet. We're going to be and what's also important about bringing him in is that Pass It On Houston is not the first one of its kind. It actually started 10 years ago this year in New Orleans. And the artist, his name is A.O. Scott. That's my boy. He started it when his father passed, and he would always say, he calls it Pass It On because his father would always say, instead of saying you're welcome when someone would say thank you, he would say pass it on. So it's in honor of it's like really a beautiful story, and what Pass It On is about, man, is yes, it's poetry, but it's about bringing in artists to share their craft and to pass it on to the audience, and then creating this chain link effect.
So it's not just poetry, as you say.
It's not just
dance,
poetry.
It'll be music. It'll be art,
visual artists,
art.
Man. We bring visual artists to come up, share their work on stage, and they get 8 minutes. Everyone gets 8 minutes on stage, which is a long time. I tell performers, I tell them to like practice. If you're not used to performing for like a long time like that, practice before you get up there.
Why 8 minutes?
8 is the number of completion, man. You know what I mean? 7 is perfection.
I thought 7 was the number.
That's perfection.
7, and I thought 8 was the number of new beginnings.
And completion. Yeah, complete.
Huh. I always thought it was 7, bro.
Now,
I'm dead ass.
Here's really what it is. The real answer is it was 10 minutes at first, and then I went to 8.
Cut it down. Makes enough sense for me.
That's the real answer.
You listen to Access Houston, talking to Outspoken Bean. Pass It On. The WCA presents Pass It On. It's happening on February the 9th. What day is that? That's a Saturday.
That's a Saturday.
That's night. Right. And this will be happening every second Saturday of the month.
Every second Saturday of the month.
Nice. Where about?
At the WCA, which is in Rice Village, not too far from where we are right now, but it's in Rice Village on Bartlett Street. I believe 2426 Bartlett. 2426 Bartlett Street. We'll be having valet, so people don't have to worry about parking and stuff like that. And it's really kind of a party. And it says 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock suggested. We have There will be a new set of artwork in the gallery, because it is an art gallery. So we want people to come in, feel the vibes, get the music, look at the art, meet the artists. They'll be in the room as well, and then we'll start the show probably around 8:30.
Okay. All right. So Saturday night vibes at the Winston Contemporary Art Gallery for Pass It On. The first one. It'll be happening every second Saturday.
Every second Saturday.
At 2426 Bartlett Street, Suite D here in the H. With us coming off the heels of MLK Day, and now we're about to go on into Black History Month.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you bless the people with a little piece to end off the convo?
Why not?
I'm sure you got
I would love
something.
to.
You stay You stay
How about I
ready.
do the poem I did in San Antonio?
How about it? Let's get it.
It's called
Outspoken Bean, ladies and gentlemen.
This Side Up. Henry Box Brown, he taught me a few things. First, he was a Virginian slave, and he arrived in Philadelphia March 30th, 1849 as a free man. Second thing, through that journey, he gathered a nickname. Henry Box Brown shipped himself in a wooden crate that was 3 feet long by 2 feet wide, displayed with the words "dry goods" and "this side up." Third, this side up is the best example of foreshadowing I've ever learned about for. When Box Brown rose up out of his crate that he had just spent 30 hours inside of, he said that moment was resurrection, y'all. So I ask, to let your truth seep. What is within you that should rise? I mean, if you feel froggy, you leap. When was the last time you truly felt Phoenix? Because I can see that you're fire, you're fly at the exact same time. I wonder, what are the limitations of your hunger, the trench of your thirst, not for water, not for food, but for your future? I have a query of questions for your internal tribe. 5, marching has become a partial payment. The stakes of freedom takes Kobe investments. Sometimes we're fork and knife ready with no table, no mats, no plates. 6, our people find moments of perseverance when we're being gambled in between distraction and destiny, destruction and divinity. The 7th thing I've learned is that perfection, y'all, is overrated and is never worth more than the completed path. The 8th thing I've learned is besides skin color, Henry Box Brown and Dr. King, they mirror one another. And sometimes we're too busy thinking outside of the box when God is telling us to go back inside of it because dream packages are shipped by his stamp of approval. A bonus, number 9. We are worth more than our 4 corners, so square up, dreamers. We're already inside the ring, and it is up to us to be boxed in or to box ourselves out because, as you know, as foreshadow boxing goes, it is always this side up.
Outspoken Bean, Pass It On at the Winston Contemporary Art Gallery. February the 9th. That's a Saturday, and it'll be happening every second Saturday of the month.
Yes.
And for more information, they can log on to...
They can go to www.outspokenbean.com.
And he's got it all. Bro, that was great. It's always good to see you. Thank you so much for...
Thank you for having me.
Always. Always a pleasure.
You really mean that.
Yeah, I really do.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for listening to Access Houston.